everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Phew. If you could shoot me a thumbs up in the chat, let me know that you can hear me. Make sure my mic is on and working this morning. Good morning. Hey, Nichols, how are you? Let me see who I have in the chat this morning. Give me 1 second. So if you could just give me that thumbs up in the chat, let me know you can hear me. That would be great. That would be wonderful. Perfect. Thank you, Nichols. I appreciate it. All right. I want to try something this morning before we get started, because I tried to work on something. Just want to know if it works. Good morning, Cece. How are you? Because I tried to fix my bot. I don't think it's fixed. I'm not very pleased with that. I'm going to have to pick a different bot. All right. So, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Let me go back and say hello to everybody that came in this morning. Hey, Gwen. How are you? So, good morning, Donzel. Good morning, Forging. Good morning, That's My Art. Good morning, Chris. See who else we got here. Good morning, The Nichols. Good morning, Cece. Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, everybody. It feels like it's been so long since I went live, right? Mother's Day, other conferences, travel, but I feel like, or I should be, knock on wood, I should be live for the next few weekends or so. Life's happening over here, so not really going to talk about it on live stream, but there's a lot going on. You barely remember me? Oh no. There's a lot going on. I'm not really going to talk about it on stream, but there's some very wild life circumstances going on my end. So I never know if I'm going to be traveling on any weekend to go back and forth home. But I'm trying to use garden as much therapy as I can, get outside when I can, and do all the things. So good morning. Who that woman? I know. You about to... Oh, thank you, Shelly. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, my allergies are, I feel like I'm congested. My allergies are actually acting up this morning, which is very rare for me. Very, very rare for me. So make sure you guys come in and hit that thumbs up on your way in. Hit the thumbs up on your way in so that you don't forget to hit it on your way out. How is everybody's garden doing? What are you guys doing in your garden? Let's talk about that before we get started with today's topic. Not feeling very well this morning, so I'm going to try to stay inside, maybe, unless I start feeling better, then we'll head outside because I do have some things. No problem, brother. No problem. Matter of fact, I'll turn my mod functions on because I only see, I know Fortune probably has to dip out a little bit early. She's testing a new thing today. Very excited for her. Cece's here. Shelly's doing a 5K, so good luck to you, Shelly, and all the things. So I have been out in the garden here and there. You'll see some stuff. You almost planning everything out. I'm very close. There's a lot of things that I have left to plan outside. Good morning, Tia. How are you? So I'm very, very close. Well, I'm lying. I'm not very close. I feel like I should be closer than I am. Bonafide supernaturally. Okay. All right. Hopefully I'm not asleep. I've been trying to get to sleep a little bit earlier. My sleeping is crazy, crazy. Good morning, Habitual. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, if you watch my video on Thursday, you know that I'm going to be doing a giveaway today. Most of you know that I did go down south, and by popular demand, before I came back, I trimmed more. There's more than this, but I trimmed more rosemary, but this is just for today's giveaway. Matter of fact, let me set a goal, and then I'm going to just make a blanket statement about the goals because I heard someone say something, so I kind of want to address it today. Oh, I don't know if I can find it. I don't like that. So I'm just going to address the goals. The reason why I put up the goals, not that I owe anybody an explanation, is I send out a lot of stuff. And when I send out a lot of stuff, sometimes shipping can be expensive. So because I am monetized and there's the option there, yes, I put up goals, and most of the time I use the funds raised from goals to assist with shipping. Okay, so that's the elephant in the room. I can't even find my goal button this morning, but it's okay, I'll find it in a second. So that is why it is there. Okay, all right, so a few housekeeping rules today. We're going to keep it a PG-13 stream. We all know that I do PG-13 streams, so let's try to stick to the gardening. Habitual, you're literally crawling out of the bed. I crawled out of the bed too. You want to win? I want you to win. I really do. I want you to win too. Matter of fact, because I appreciate everybody in here, I'm going to do something that I have not done in a while, and that is membership gifting. Let me just get some gifts out of the way. See who can get these memberships. Make sure you turn your membership gifts on. Okay? Make sure you turn them on. So let's see who got them this morning. Miss Cheryl, Marlene, Just Blaze, don't know who that is, but sounds familiar. Cashy, and Southern Friend. Okay, so those are the gifted memberships today. Welcome in, welcome to the Farmer Chas channel. Hope you enjoy all of the Bush people, right? They always seem to get lucky like that. Cece, do you have your memberships turned on so that you could receive a free membership? Hopefully you do, so that the next time I do it, there we go, goal. So I'm going to put the goal up there. Like I said, the goals are I'm going to do one at a time today. The goals are to make sure that I get a little bit of assistance with shipping. So yeah, we'll do a giveaway at the end. Thank you. That's my art. Thank you for the star. Appreciate it. Okay. My computer's acting wonky this morning. Okay, put the goal up. All right. So I'll refresh the goals here and there, but here's what I want to talk about. Most of us have our garden planted out already, but there's some people like me that we still have seedlings inside. The weather not very conducive to being outside and starting in direct sowing. So direct sowing is my favorite, right? So direct sowing is my favorite. However, sent 2 joules, thank you. All right, foraging 3 months. That's what I'm talking about. So direct sowing is my favorite, but I can't always do it based off of my weather. So I would really, really love the direct sow, but I can't do it all the time. And because of the squirrels and stuff, I'll kind of talk about that later. They dig up where I place seeds at. I hate it. Really, really hate it. So that is why we're talking about seed sprouting, right? So, and then some people just don't like starting stuff outside because it's easier to see what they feel like is a less waste of time, and they know what's going to be in their garden. So Double M, good morning, welcome in. Unique, good morning, welcome in. So let's just talk about what we're doing here. So I did put up the poll, so make sure everybody has taken the poll this morning. So take the poll. And let's see how your squirrels are enemies. Yes, but if you ask Mike's Chaotic Garden, he loves them. I think he feeds them. He does all the things. I don't love them at all. I don't love squirrels, okay? Kind of hate them a little bit. Kind of hate them. I don't like the squirrels, and I don't like groundhogs. Before I start, let me tell you guys a quick story. I've had seedlings. I've been putting seedlings out, right? I put my okra seedlings out, the nice, pretty, big okra seedlings that I did from Unique. Sent me some okra seeds, and they grew in hydroponics, and I hardened them off, and I did all the things. Well, guess what? I put those seedlings out, and I came home from work Thursday. The groundhog mowed down my okra seedling. So now I got to start over. So what I did was I put a little gate around it, and I fed it some fish emulsion because I saw like 1 or 2 leaves left on it, and I'm just hoping that they come back. Welcome in, Miss Cheryl. You're welcome. You're welcome. So the groundhog is over here ruining it for me, and I think that they're in the garden more than they used to try to dig under the house, because now that we have a paved around the house, they can't dig to get under the house. So now that's why you transplant your seedlings and they don't mess with the seedlings as much. They didn't used to mess with the seedlings. They used to just want to get under the house. Now they're messing with the seedlings. So now I got to think of something. So I still have the traps, right? I have 2 traps, and I want to put them out in the garden where I'm not ready to plant yet, hoping that we can get them. Now, before in the traps, we weren't putting any food in the traps. The trapper told us not to, but I think I'm going to put an apple inside of the trap to see if he'll go in and try to get the apple. If he doesn't get the apple, I don't know what else to do, but he's got to go. And it's a whole family of them. You feed yours now, following the Mike method, but it doesn't work. You're moving. Now you're moving to the farmer. Listen, I I don't know. It's the only thing that I'm willing to feed is I was thinking about getting the containers to put some rocks and putting water in it for the birds, but I'm not for feeding the groundhog. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Um, and if I was down south, yes. Hey, Four Seasons, welcome in. Yes, time to get rid of them. A motion detector sprinkler to try out. You're gonna probably have to come help me set it up, because I don't know if you watched my video where I was putting together my drip irrigation. I'm not very good at putting stuff together. You know this, I know this, we know this. Let's move on. All right. So I'm not very good at putting stuff together. By the way, you guys like the pink shirt? Got the pink shirt and pink sweatshirt this time. So I'm trying out different colors to see which color I like the best. So yeah, you love animals, but not that are eating your stuff. Exactly. So let's talk about seedlings. If you're just coming in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you're, listen, I was very frustrated with that when I had to play the music only and I was mic'd up. I was listening to what I was saying. I was like, they don't need to hear me say those things. So I'll put music over it. You have a bird seeders, but the squirrels eat more than the birds. Wow. Yeah. These squirrels here, they don't need anybody to feed them. They're like fat. Like fat. Uh, the dog got rid of your. Yeah, I don't want a dog. I travel too much for dogs. So yeah. So, fun fact, most of us already know this. The cotyledon seeds aren't the real leaves on your plants. Those leaves are packed with stored energy from the seed itself. So it's just like packing a lunch for a seedling, right? Um, Cache, somebody's in here named Cache. Good morning. I don't think I've ever seen you. Yeah, fat like Simon and his family are very fat, Cece. They're very fat, right? So, sweet Mr. Sweet Time, hello, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right. So let me just give you a brief recap, right? So when we talk about seedlings, and a lot of people, we're gardeners, we assume that everybody knows this, but just in case we have anybody new lurking in the bushes or in the stream, germination is just simply this: your seeds absorb water, they split open, they get their first root emerges, and then the seed leaves, i.e. the cotyledons, appear. That's your green flag to take action for seedlings. So the main reason why we're talking about it today is I'm going to use this as a working stream. Before I left to go home on, thank you, Double M. He says pollinate that like button. So before I left to go home, let me show you what I did. So in my window, I used some seeds and I used the paper towel method, right? I'm going to take these seeds out of the paper towels if I see roots. These here are canary bird zinnias, so yellow zinnias. I don't think I have the seed packet on the table anymore, but You're welcome to Nickel. She says, thank you for saying that. A lot of people don't know. So I put these here. I actually have several of them, right? So they germinated. Let me just turn you around so you can kind of see what I did. So you see I put the, here I put 3 different types of seeds here. And I'm going to put them in soil today. I'm not going to put them straight outside. Just because the birds and everything are digging, and I don't want them to dig up seedlings because they're too weak right now to really be outside. And then I'll harden them off. So just wanted to show you guys that. So that is what germination is. It's simply the seed absorbs the water, it splits open, the first root emerges, and then the cotyledons appear, right? And that's your green flag to take action, right? Um, oh, I know, Jacqueline, I can only put so many in the poll. Okay, so that's why it says the most. What do you do the most, or do you do it equally? Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about: seedlings, germination, hardening off, a little bit of transplanting. So with that being said, we know what germination is, right? We know what germination is. I just told you. I just told you what the cotyledons are, right? So we got those 2 things out of the way. So I know a lot of people don't like the 2 little things, but for me, when I see cotyledons, I get excited because I know that, if I take care of my seedlings, they're going to live, they're going to thrive, they're going to survive, right? So number 1, light is now the priority once they germinate. Seedling needs 14 to 16 hours of bright light per day. Without it, they stretch for they stretch to the light, right? And when they stretch to the light, they get leggy. So I know that you guys have heard gardeners all over the place talking about your seedlings being leggy. That just means that the seeds are stretching to the light, right? There's something back there that's reflecting. You guys see that reflection back there? Let me move the camera. Okay, that's better. So that's what it means when they're stretching. Survive or get unalived. That is going to be the motto of this season. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, get out. We're going to replace you. Survive or be unalive. That's right, brother. That is right. Michael, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Welcome, man. Welcome back. Okay. Welcome, Michael. So yeah, that survive or get unalived. I like that saying, brother. I might have to put that on something. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Then another thing you have to realize with seedlings, warmth matters. So seedling loves 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's around 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. Depends on which one you like to use. I use Fahrenheit. Cooler temps slow root development. Warmer doesn't always mean faster, but it can stress tender seedlings. So you want a little bit of warmth, right? Sorry, you trademarked it already. Pay you? Maybe, maybe. Um, YouTube wants to hide it. Fortune, you can't let YouTube bother you. You gotta let it do. Matter of fact, CC, I don't know if you're by a computer or Fortune, if you're by a computer, if you can drop in the moderators chats. Let me just, I don't think I finished my announcements. Hit the like button on your way in, PG-13 stream. Do ask a lot of questions and interact. And the mods are here to help me out. Please be respectful because the mods will get her out of there. Okay? So I think that might be it. Yeah, I think so. Okay. And so moisture versus sogginess. These are just some key things we're going to talk about today. Um, I think I talked about this in another stream when we were doing seedlings. Don't have your soil too soggy. When you squeeze it, it should do like a brownie, squeeze it, stick together, poke it. It should be able to just break apart. All right, that's the soil medium we want. And healthy seedlings stand upright. The cotyledon seeds are green and plump. They're not leggy. My seedlings, some of the ones I have are currently leggy. And then we also have to think about seedlings that are dampening off. So let me just give you an example of leggy seedlings. My seedlings over here are quite leggy. These are the ones we started on live stream before I left. Let me just show you. Okay, so these are leggy, and I really could put a book up underneath here to raise it to be closer to the light, but I'm okay with the kind of leggy seedlings here. So you see I have a nasturtium here, some nasturtiums back over here, and they're kind of leggy. I have it turned around, so these are not the labels, but like I have some melons and different things. But here, over here is an example of what I call a really healthy seedling. Her lettuce, I'll give you a brief, is not doing too great. She only has one, two, three things that germinated. I'm gonna have her help me replant it, but we'll do that later. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I don't know what happened with the lettuce, by the way. It was very rare. All right. So yeah, everybody go in, subscribe to the mods. They have great channels for the most part. Everyone has a channel, I think, except for maybe one of my mods doesn't really have a channel. She doesn't post, and I think that the only one that doesn't post is Chanel. Um, yeah, the seedlings in the trays, they look pretty good. I just feel like they're kind of leggy, which I'll fix that later. Or I might, what I think I'm gonna do is sit them outside, start hardening them off now, because I want to take them directly from the trays and put them outside when they're ready. And then I'm gonna buy some God, it's missing my brain right now. Some covers to put over them to keep things from eating the seedlings, because it's very annoying when you take your time to grow seedlings and you purchase these seeds and then something comes out there and they eat it. But, whatever, right? So, let's talk about light intensity. Every people who use grow lights, they use shop lights. Some people stick their seedlings in the windows. Um, just give them light, right? Do the best you can. You don't have to think of or do the most expensive things, right? Because you hear a lot of people talking about all these expensive things that they're doing for their seedlings. It doesn't have to be hard at all. It's really supposed to be something that helps you out along the way. So yeah, everyone's trying to help foraging out to help her, already harvesting tons of stuff from the garden. Radishes, peas, tomatoes. Congratulations. I am just harvesting the spring brassicas. So I harvested 2 cabbages yesterday. Before I left, I harvested some collard greens and kale. Um, so yeah, got my coffee this morning, feeling a little bit better than what I did. So let's just talk about seedlings, light, water, and the grow medium. Not so much the grow medium, but let's talk about watering. When I water my seedlings, I don't water them from the top. And if I do any water from the top, I use a mist bottle and I lightly mist them because I don't want the seeds burying down or sinking down deep. I bottom water, and bottom watering is simply pouring water in the bottom of the tray, sitting your seedlings in there, and letting the soil and the roots absorb from the bottom up. Bottom watering, I learned years ago, and it works, right? So bottom watering is key. Light is key. The right soil medium is key, right? So I'm like all twisted up here. Sorry, you guys, but my necklace is like stuck in my hair. All right, so I just ended the poll. Let me see where you guys are doing. See, the actions aren't working. I still got to figure out how to fix them. So 45% of you guys use grow lights, and that is what most people have been doing lately online. You see it and everything like that. So directly outside, a lot of people do. That's my favorite method, direct sowing. 18% in the windowsill, 5% in the greenhouse. One day I'm gonna get me a greenhouse and start my seedlings in it too. That is a something that I really want to do. So those are things that we need to think about. So here's the other thing. Once the true leaves appear, your seedlings need more, right? You need more. They need more things. I'm forging. I could send you an email on how to change it. You could drop the 4745 off the name if you wanted to. So yeah. So as I'm talking to you guys, I'm gonna start dropping in some of these mods chats, if I can. So I do. I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, how you doing, Chasm? I don't know if I saw you. So heat mats. I do put heat mats. The heat mat is on the seedlings over there. So the reason why these aren't on a heat mat is because once they germinate, I remove them from the heat mat. I take off the dome, right? And then I just put them over to the put them under the other grow lights. So yes, I do, and that also helps with temperature. So for example, when it was cold outside, even when my seedlings germinated, I still kept them under a heat with the heat mat because my sun porch got really cold, and so it was just easier to it was easier to keep using the heat mat. But now that it gets pretty warm on the sun porch, I don't use my heat mat while after they germinate. But I used to. Good morning, Jackie Cooper. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I'm going to start, I'm going to help my mods out this morning. Going to drop in some of these channels for some of these moderators as I'm talking. So heat mats, and you guys are talking with me, right? How you doing, Miss JK? I think I spoke to Donzel this morning. Good morning, Donzel. So yeah, heat mats, very, very key, very, very clutch, right? And you don't have to buy them. They sell heat mats for very cheap on Amazon. Sell them for very cheap on Amazon. Grab you one. You might even can find them on, you don't use a heat mat? I use a heat mat. You might even can find them on, what do you call it? Facebook Marketplace. You can find heat mats. I do put domes on mine. Yeah, oh, that's right. So you can use a heating pad. I actually saw someone use, they, Desmond is in here too. I think I missed Desmond. Good morning. I only saw Kizzy. So yeah, I saw someone use their radiator, right? Yeah, I saw someone sit their things on their radiators. Some people sit it on their heat vents. Some people use the top of their fridge, heat mats or hand warmers. You can use those too. You can use those too. Yeah, on top of a refrigerator, I've seen people use before. So just different things, right? Different things, and you use a heating pad. So yeah, you don't need. I have so many heat mats that I should never really have an issue with. I should never have an issue with the warmth of seedlings. Sometimes I actually forget to remove them from the heat mats, and that can cause dampening off. Um, yeah, and if you live in a good weather, you could start your seedlings outside, and that's great, right? So you could do that too. On top of the refrigerator, water with warm water. I think I use room temperature water. So yeah. So here's another tip. Stick your finger 1 inch into the soil. If it's dry, water. If it's still damp, wait. The seedlings want dry cycles. So that not like consistent and whatever moisture. Zone 6-7 in Florida has the best weather. Zone 6-7 in Florida gets very, very hot in the summertime, and so does Texas. So I think, what brother, what zone are you in really? Is it like 8 or 9 or something like that? Google it for me. Also, I know I said before, and I did a short on it. Um, Friend, welcome in. You don't always need to use seed trays either. You could use what I call them, plastic cups. I like to use the clear cups. I bought my grandmother's clear cups. You do not recommend using warm water for seedlings, breeding grounds for algae. Okay, there you go. 6-7, I swear. Okay, brother. Oh man, that's so funny. Okay, so that is something that we need to think about. All right. So, okay. Fun fact: plants move toward light via a process called phototropism, driven by a hormone called auxin. It's happening in real time in your seedling trays right now. So that's a fun fact, and there you go. For seeds, I like And like I said, not hot water, warm water. Okay. Um, Tag, good morning. How are you? Um, that's what you do for avocado seeds. They germinate in the warming under the dry oven. I've never tried to do a avocado, but that sounds pretty darn good. I never really thought about it. I wonder if it'll work for a mango seed too. Oh, you're driving to New Jersey? Welcome to the Garden State. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the Garden State. Okay? So that's something that we want to talk about for seedlings. Understand your seed starting mix. So a lot of people use seed starting mixes. You don't have to use seed starting mixes. You can use potting soil, sift it out, take out some of the sticks and stuff. But like a lot of people just assume that, when I come on here, I talk about the most expensive methods to do things. I don't. I try to tell everybody. So for example, I'm going to show you later. I bought some, yes, I did. I bought some Miracle Grow. I'm going to sift through it. I'm going to use it as a seed starting mix. Well, not even seed starting mix. I'm going to use it to put these seeds that have roots on them, right? Um, you much prefer to use potting soil rather than seed starting mix. There you go. Because I feel like when you use seed starting mix, it doesn't have all the nutrients, right? But when you use potting soil, it already has some nutrients in it. So when it starts to grow, then they work great. So Unique says works great for seeds like warmth and darkness to germinate. Got it. Got it. I think I saw you do the avocado seeds when it was like popping out. That was pretty neat. So, and then another thing that you heard me talk about on this channel before are the humidity domes. They're great during germination, but remove them once the seedlings are up. Trap moisture encourages fungus. So we don't want the fungus. So once your seeds germinate and they pop above the soil, same thing with hydroponics, remove the domes. So that is something, and you're removing domes to prevent the fungus. Okay? So there we go. So everybody that's coming in, make sure you're going in and hitting the thumbs up on your way in so that you don't forget to do it on your way out. And just another PSA, I am going to do a giveaway today, and to address the whole why do I put goals up? I put goals up because I'm monetized and I can, for number one. And number two, when I hit goals, it makes me more inclined to do giveaways because the money that I make from the goals I use to help with shipping, because shipping is not cheap. But yeah, okay. So let's also talk about plant propagation. Well, habitual is right. It's because I can. Plant propagation, right? Listening while working. That is a-okay. Okay, everybody's still saying hello. So plant propagation. So my intention on this stream was to show you guys me propagating those rose bush clippings. But let me tell you what I did, because my mind is all over the place. When I ordered my rooting compound, the powder, I had it shipped to South Carolina instead of here. So I don't get to do that on today's stream. But you guys saw me do cuttings from tomato plants. Those got sent to Miss Gail. Even the ones that I had left over, I sent those to Miss Gail too, because I already have the tomato plants that I want in the ground, and I have the tomato plants that I want to give away. So those went to Miss Gail. So I don't really have a visual for you this morning, but we know what plant propagation is. And I'm actually still trying it with some rosemary. So I'll show you the rosemary that I'm going to try to, let me see, propagate. And it worked before. So this is more rosemary that I took from my grandmother's. I trimmed it down. When I trimmed it down, I put a lot of it in a glass jar because I'm going to probably cook with it later, right? So then I still have some in a paper towel. So like I said, depending on if we hit goals, I'll give more of this away. But I want it to root inside of the water. Once it roots inside of the water, I'm then going to put it into some soil. So I actually have, let me put that back. I have some, I have rosemary that rooted and I put it in soil already. It's outside hardening off. I'm about to head to the bushes. No problem. That's a great point, Sweet Time. So, Mr. Sweet Time says you should look at all method as good, better, and best. Good gets it done, better is optimal, and best is done with little to no compromise. I agree with that wholeheartedly. So kudos to you. I wish I could put some hearts in the chat because I like that statement right there. And that's the way to get it done. There are different ways to do your seedlings, plant your seedlings, care for your seedlings, and get them out in the garden, right? So, like I said, I've talked about seedlings before. I've talked about it, but I'm going a little bit in depth because I want to show you guys when I put some of the stuff in there. Now, I usually, and I have in the past, when I start stuff in the window and it gets roots, I normally put it right outside. I'm not doing that today because of the pest pressure with all of these, I'm going to call them rodents, with all the rodents, the squirrels, the birds, well, the bird's not a rodent, the groundhogs, what are the skunks? I've had enough. I don't know if you could tell, but I've had enough of that. um, oh, nice. Yes, cloudy days are great. Cloudy days are great. Okay. So, propagation is basically taking an existing piece, like taking a piece of an existing plant, the stem, leaf or root, and encouraging it to grow a whole new plant. It's basically cloning, right? And we talked about this before, and it matters because you can multiply your favorite plants, share them with friends, rescue a dying plant by taking cutting before it's gone, right? So if you have a favorite tomato plant and you have a piece of the plant that's not infected with aphids or, worms or whatever, listen, the best thing you could do is take a cutting and be ready for when you need to replant it. I have to sneeze. It's not coming out. Okay. It's the best thing you could do. So when you take cuttings and you propagate them, it just helps you out in the long run. And it just means that you don't have to take as long to have that plant produce again. So you can take cuttings from tomatoes, you can take cuttings from herbs. Like basil is great, right? Basil is great to propagate. Rosemary is great to propagate. There's so many other plants. If there are plants that you have propagated and taken cuttings from, drop them in the chat so I know what all you have. What all you have. You made me wipe my hands off to type. We've had enough too. The goats, the rabbits, the chickens. You've had someone who feels me, right? All these animals. And like, here's the thing. I do plant an overabundance. But like, if I can't even get my seedlings to get up to where I can share it with the environment, I get a little frustrated. I just had enough, right? Yeah, they're keeping me, they don't want me to be great. We cannot have nice things over here. The Nichols, the goat tasted your apple tree this week. Oh my God. But you like your goats, Foraging, and you can kind of like gate up your goats. Foraging said that her goat and was embarrassing her in front of her friends. When I saw that, I cracked up. So habitual, she propagates basil, thyme, oregano, flowers, tomatoes, and peppers. What flowers are you propagating? I'm very curious to know that. Um, yeah, no, that one is on your short list. Can't have nothing. They just don't want you to be great. Like, that's why we don't have nice things over here because of those things, right? We can't have nice things. Flower bed and vegetable gardens. That's right. Like, you can't have nothing. So stem cuttings are the most common propagation method. So you cut a healthy stem 4 to 6 inches long, just below the node. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where's my hype up button? All right. So you know what that means we're going to do today? We hit the first goal. That means I'm going to start another goal. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start another goal. But that just means I'm going to do more than one rosemary giveaway today. Thank you so much, Jackie. She's like great. Okay. You're literally just starting out. Your pepper plants are so tiny right now. Be careful with putting them outside. But what I did notice, right? What I did notice on the pepper plants, they're not interested in the pepper plants. I have pepper plants out there. He didn't go eat that. He went and ate the okra. Your bell pepper and cayenne pepper seeds won't sprout and you don't know what you're doing wrong. Let's talk through that for a little bit, Summer Love. Let's talk through that. When your bell pepper and your cayenne pepper plants, do you have them in seed trays? Let's chat, let's help her out. Let's try to figure out what she's doing, right? Let's try to figure out what she's doing. Let's try to help her out and see what she's doing. Do you have them in seedling trays? Do you have them in, and now my internet won't let me be great. This is crazy. Summer Love. I'll wait to see if she's going to type back. So, have you done all the things that we just said? You have them in Jiffy cups with the hole at the bottom at the moment. Jiffy cups. Are those like those peat pots? Because sometimes those don't do so well for me. The squirrels dug up 2 of your sweet pepper seedlings. That's horrible. Horrible. They've been digging in my garden too. And also note that pepper seeds also take a little bit longer. Oh, you're trying to do it outside. In Michigan, I'm assuming that it's you're still just getting over the cold weather. It's gonna take them a little while to germinate. Your soil needs to be consistently warm, and it takes a few weeks for pepper seeds to germinate. So it could be that you're doing nothing wrong. And let me also say this, right? Let me say this. Sometimes it is not our fault that these seeds don't germinate. It could be the environment, it could be, the water. Listen, it's not your fault. It takes pepper seeds a few weeks. They need warm soil, sunlight, grow lights. If it were me and I lived in Michigan, I would start them indoors under a grow light with a heat mat with a dome because that is going to be the best way to get them to germinate. If you do it outside, depending on how many grow days you have, it could take forever. So, you really just gotta figure it out that way. I don't know if I said anything to help you out, but peat pots sometimes are harder, right? Habitual, can you teach Hash how to propagate? Good morning, Habitual. Soil is probably around 70, 80 degrees. Wow. Um, but yeah, our soil is just warming up. I think my soil, when I did the temperature, is just warming up past the 50s and 60s. And I know a lot of people are waiting. They waited until Mother's Day to plant. Um, hey, those are the things, okay? So this is crazy. My laptop doesn't want to help me out this morning. All right, so propagating. Summer Love, let me know if that helped you out at all. Let me know. And if not, we can kind of discuss it some more with the gardeners in the chat and do that, right? You're going to be in the 90s. Yeah, we're going to experience a heat wave this week as well, right? So I'm actually looking forward to all of the warm weather coming. Um, Perfect, you're welcome. She says it did. Thank you. You appreciate it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's get back to stem cutting. So cut a healthy stem, 4 to 6 inches long, just below the node. So the node is where the leaf and meets the stem, right? That's the little bump where the leaf. So cut right below the node, right? And roots will form. Yeah, don't give up on your seeds. Give them a little time. Pepper seeds do take a little bit. Um, Your heat wave already started? I wish our heat wave started. So I'm gonna go out after live stream today, put the rest of the plants that I have sitting out there in, and I have to fertilize some. So yeah, I'm ready. So you can root in 2 different options. There's water rooting, which is what I'm doing here. So you place your Um, Stem in a clear glass, change water every 2 to 3 days, and then move soil once the roots are 1 to 2 inches long. So it's easy for especially those people who have, like, let's say you have kids, right? I have a daughter. If you've been watching on the channel, you know I have a daughter, Farmer Camille, right? She loves watching when I do the cuttings because she likes to see the roots form on the different things through the water. So that's a great exercise to do with kids. I'm actually going to take some cuttings over to Mariah's and watch her see it too. Nisi the garden rookie, welcome back in. Oh look, Habitual, you have a friend. You and Miss Cheryl are both in Missouri. Um, that's pretty exciting. So yeah, and then you can also do soil medium rooting. So cut and dip the cutting in a root hormone, which is what I wanted to do with these roses, but I shipped my root hormone to the wrong place. Stick it into a moist perlite or seed starting mix, cover loosely with a plastic bag or dome to hold humidity. I've never done the soil medium. I wanted to try it on stream with you guys, but now I got to get my grandmother to send me my rooting hormone because I sent it to her house instead of mine. Yeah, she does. Let me see if I could put habituals. Um, I'm gonna put habituals in there so that you guys can find each other. Give me 1 second. So I'll do that so that you could stick younger cuttings in a big bottle full of rainwater, leave it there in the sun. Yeah, you could do that too. Um, you could do that too. I got you, habitual. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you if I can find you. Let me type it in because I can't go through the whole scrolling routine. So yeah, I like for people to find each other. I think that's pretty awesome. Habitual has a lot of information on her channel, and I actually learned something from Habitual's channel that I'm probably going to show on a video pretty soon and give her credit for. She kind of showed me how she does with her. Um, Here we go. Miss Cheryl, I just put it in the chat. So that's Habitual's. Follow her channel. That is her channel. What was I saying? Yeah, I learned how to take the compost out of my tumbler by watching a video on her channel, and that was pretty neat. So yes, let's do all those things. Tumbler compost. So um, yeah, so Hash is saying, in my opinion, your aeroponic systems are the best for cloning because you don't need humidity domes and they root faster. I agree, but the reason why I didn't say it is because a lot of people don't have them. So I'm trying to like think of what the general population has. But yeah, I am going to do some. Actually, Hash, you give me a great idea. I'm going to maybe, I don't know if I could do it with a Hash. Let me know if you think it would work with some of these um, rose stems. Like that would be kind of hard because I'd have to cut a really big hole in the sponge because I'm not going to put any soil in there. I don't know how I will be able to do it, but I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm going to try it just because I'm an experimenter. I like to experiment with things. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, so good plants to practice stem cuttings are basil, tomatoes, coleus, mint, impatiens, geraniums, right? So yeah, those are things that you can try, right? What else? Give me 1 second. You like that? Yeah. And trust me, I have more than enough hydroponic systems to try this stuff in, right? Some plants can grow entirely a new plant from a single leaf, right? So for those of you that have house plants, from a single leaf of a succulent snake plant, African violet, and begonias, you can propagate from those. Galaxies, good morning, welcome in. You got, I got this flame and gold honeysuckle out there. You would love to have two. Try it. Try it. Let me know if it works. For succulents, gently twist off a healthy leaf. Let the cutting and callus over for about 1 or 2 days, and that prevents root rot. What is this? Okay. Prevents root rot and all that other things. For snake plants, cut the leaf in 2 to 3 sections. Keep track of which end is up, and then stick the bottom into 1 inch of moist soil. My Mother's Day was okay. Okay, so one thing that I have not ever done, I actually never even heard of it, was air layering. I'm not going to talk about that today. Once I do some research, we will come back and talk about air layering. I've never done root division, so we'll come back and talk about root division and air layering once I do some more research, because I think those are fancy, fancy. That's right, Fortune. Yes, you had a great Mother's Day, but every day is Mother's Day. There you go. There you go. So let me ask you guys this that have propagated, right? Okay, I see what you said, Hash. Um, Let me ask you this. Let me just type up this poll. Have you tried prop? And I think most of you are going to say yes. Some of you may say no. I'm just going to leave it as yes or no. Let me know. Have you ever tried propagating plants before? Take the poll. Let's talk about it. Let's, all those things. Making breakfast. What are we having for breakfast? Take a sip of my coffee. Okay. So I like cloning tomato plants. I like cloning basil. Um, I've cloned mint before. Now I don't have to clone mint. My mint bush is so bushy and big, I never have to do that with mint ever again. Not even to give it away to folks. I just give them a whole bunch of cuttings and it just comes back. Um, so yeah, here we go. All right. Good morning. Oh no. All right, Nancy. Got you. Got you. Prayers up for your niece. Listening in the bushes, no problem, no problem. Hopefully you can get a little nugget to carry away with you. Here's what I also um you were so distracted that you put your hoodie on backwards. Yeah, prayers, Nancy. I hope your granddaughter is gonna be okay. Nancy, are we still meeting up? Am I still meeting up with your daughter to give you some of these plants? Let me know. Because with that, I'm pretty sure she's going to be pretty busy. So don't worry about it. Um, so yeah. So here's a tip. A rooting hormone speeds up things, but it's not always required. For soft stem plants like basil or plain water works just as good. Label your cuttings immediately, because a week later you may not remember what you put in the pot. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Nancy. Thanks for letting me know. Um, Wilting cuttings after propagation is normal. They've lost their root system and can't take up water yet. So keep the humidity high and be patient. Oh, no problem. No problem, Nancy. I'm trying to do whatever I can do to help. Um, I have a sage going to see, will it still work? That's a great question. I've never heard of anybody propagating sage before, but I mean, it's a great question. Great question. You propagating nasturtiums? Huh. Michelle says your cuttings fail. Plum and peach tree, you have roots and you think you transplanted them too soon. They say that you should wait for the roots to get 4 to 5 inches, I think. Is that what I said earlier? I can go back and check. But good luck. I think you should just try it again. Just try it again. Just try it again. Everything will be a-okay, right? So we've talked about propagation, the seedlings. Now let's just talk about thinning, feeding, and reading the plants, right? Um, and I know a lot of people, they don't really think about it. Yep, that's what happened. Okay, they don't really think about it. People hate to see me thin out my plants. I'm a plant thinner. I I think it's healthy for the plants overall if you have, you got to thin, right? And if anybody has a video on how to propagate or get a root cutting for a fig, please send me an email. Let me know where it's at so I can watch it. I'm a visual learner as well. My grandmother's fig tree has a lot of thin branches at the bottom, and she wants me to try to get some cuttings from it. I told her I don't know how to do that yet, so I'm going to watch some videos, and when I go back in a couple weeks, I'm going to try to do a cutting. So if you try to propagate your sage, take your cutting from a non-woody part. There you go. Non-woody part. I think that's true for most cuttings. You got to try to take it from the non-woody part. Okay? So thinning, in my opinion, is not an optional. Is not an option. Is not optional. Multiple seedlings in one cell compete for everything, and if you don't thin them out, they all suffer. So snip the extras at soil level with scissors. Don't pull, because if you pull, it might disturb the roots for everything else. If you can't bear to pull them, look, cut it. Like, for example, certain things, when you thin them out, you can eat it. You can eat the top of lettuce, radish, basil, herb thinnings. They're just basically microgreens. So if you don't want to throw them away or put them in your compost, eat them, right? That's what you could do. And then when to fertilize. You fertilize when the true leaves are here, right? Not the two main ones that come out, not the cotyledons, but you fertilize once the true leaves are there. So I know that most of us, or some of us, are experienced gardeners. We knew that. I just wanted to say it again for those who may not have known. So make sure you fertilize once it gets true leaves. And when you fertilize, do it with a don't give it a full strength fertilizer. You'll kill it. Okay? No full strength fertilizer. So you start with about 1/4 of the recommended dose, right? And it's recommended that you use a balanced fertilizer. You know, a lot of people fertilize, they water down 511. There's a lot of nitrogen in it. So when I fertilize for the first time, I try to use a balanced fertilizer on my seedlings. So that's just me. You just cut a fig branch and put it rooting hormone on it on the end of the branch and place it in soil. Okay, that easy. Good morning, Sylvia. How are you? How are you? How are you? Good morning. Okay. I'm going to try it. I'm going to have her, well, no, I'm not going to have her do it. Actually, I can have her try it because she has my rooting hormone down there with her. So I'm going to have her cut the small ones off and try to Black Gold Coffee. Yeah, I'm going to try to have her cut it off. I might even send her a video because she is also a visual learner. Also a visual learner. And all those things. So for propagation, hold off fertilizing until you see new active growth. That's the sign that the roots have established, right? So, yeah. Speaking of black gold, I'm going to pause for a moment. Can you guys give me some thumbs or some hearts if you loved Broke's podcast interview? I loved it. And the reason why I loved it is because he was authentically himself and he dropped a lot of gem nuggets on us, right? Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. All right, so handle seedlings and cuttings by their leaves, never by their stem. If a leaf breaks, it will grow back. A crushed stem means that the plant is done, right? So let's think about that. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so am I almost done? Because I want to leave myself with enough time to put those seeds that are in the paper towel into some. Be sure to keep it covered. So we say cutting plants back promotes new growth. That's right. So Sweet Time, you're right. Absolutely correct. Cutting plants back promotes new growth. In a bushy plant, the older stems become woody. Cutting back sends out new stems that are usually better for harvest. 100% correct. Yeah, you will be. These rose cuttings have been alive. You know, I'm tempted just to put some of them in soil while I wait for the rooting hormone to get here. But yeah, I know someone that did. I know someone that put basil in tap water in a container and never transferred it to soil. The roots pretty much circled into the container and it just had a plant with water, roots, and the basil, and they used it for an entire season. So as you're saying, it may not last as long, but I've seen someone just have essentially a whole plant for with basil, with just roots, water, and the leaves up top. It looked kind of weird to me, but I've seen it done before. But yeah. So now we've talked about the cuttings, the transplantings, the seedlings. Let's now talk about transferring to bigger pots. That is not my favorite thing to do. I don't like up potting. It is, it's cumbersome. It's time consuming. I don't like it. I don't love transplanting to bigger pots, but I do it. Okay. You cut your pepper and basil. So I don't know if you guys remember last gardening season when I kept cutting down my pepper. I didn't cut them down, but I kept trimming my pepper plants, and it didn't dawn on me until like a couple weeks later. The more I trimmed on them, the bushier they were going to get, and then the enclosure just turned into a straight up jungle. It was because I was trimming on the plants, and it sent signals to the plants to just keep growing more stems. So not enough minerals in or distilled water. Okay, yeah. So that is that. So transferring to bigger pots. Root circling the bottom of a cell or poking out of drainage holes, it means it's root bound. We know what root bound is. I'll repeat it for that one person who may not realize what root bound was. Root bound is roots circling the bottom of a cell or poking out of drainage holes, and that equals root bound. I've showed you guys a root bound plant before. I actually have one out there that I can show you. Plants look healthy but stops growing despite the good light and good water is likely root bound. I have a celery plant that's out there, it's root bound. I'm going to take it out, kind of massage the roots loose, and that's how I'm going to plant it. Okay, it's root bound. Go up, it's recommended that you go up one size at a time, so about 2 times the volume of the current container. So I don't always follow that rule. So this is one of those, that's what's best, but I don't do it all the time. Okay, go up 2 times the pot. Sometimes I just put it in its final pot. I don't have time to be babying and worrying about what size pot it's in. I put it in whatever size pot I have and then do it like that. You jammed a small sweet potato into a bottle of rainwater every year and they grow vines, aka slips. Exactly. So that's how a lot of people do their sweet potato slips. Why not a huge pot? Because excess soil holds moistures and the roots can't access it, leading to root rot. Okay, so that's why we don't put it in really big pots, because it can lead to root rot because of the soil being too moist. It's a thing. I don't always follow those rules, so I'm telling you, if you don't see me doing it on my channel, it's because sometimes I don't follow the rules, so sue me, right? But I'm telling you because that's what it is, right? Drainage holes are non-negotiable. If you buy a pot, like for example, I bought those wine barrel pots. I drilled holes, and I also didn't drill holes at the bottom. I drilled like up underneath. I drilled holes around the base, maybe about 1 inch or 2 up, so that the water can come out. That's just a method that I learned from a fellow gardener, Shelly's Homestead Hideaway. I have it in one of the pots, and it's been working for me, right? I think Shelly's doing her walk, and I think I forgot to drop her channel. Shelly's also a mod, so I'm going to go in and drop her channel really quick. Doing some double duty this morning. Since my bots decided that they don't want to work. Brother, are you still in the chat? Can we work on that later today? Because I need these bots to work. All right. So she told me to not drill holes at the bottom, drill them around the edges. I think I have a video coming out on Monday to show you about size hole that I did. Yeah, so that's why I didn't say it, hash reverse osmosis. I didn't say it in the chat because not everyone knows what it means. When I have different streams, I'm going to try to pick up things where I don't think people would understand, and I'll do a separate live stream. I'm trying to, divvy out and learn more about it, so it's easier for me to explain. Sylvia says, I don't follow rules either. Holes in the sides cut down on watering too. Yeah, there you go. But what else? Water the plant 1 to 2 hours before transplanting. Moist soil holds together better and reduces transplant shock. I do that all the time. How you doing, I-95? Welcome in, welcome in. I don't think I've seen you in here before, so make sure you come in and hit that like button. Subscribe too if you haven't already. They call those self-watering pots because they can retain a little water at the bottom. Correct. But yeah, okay. Add a layer of fresh potting mix to the new pot, then gently remove the plant by squeezing the sides. So, squeezing the sides. For those that don't know what RO water is, it's reverse osmosis water. Thank you, Galaxies. Now you want to tell them what reverse osmosis water is. Good morning, Miss T. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. So, yeah, check the roots. White and firm equals healthy roots. When your roots start to turn brown, they're mushy or smelly, clear sign for root rot, right? I had to learn that. Clear sign for root rot. So let me just end this poll because we've moved on from propagation. Most of us have propagated before, so that is great. Holes in the side. Exactly. So crop plateau, that's my art. Do not place holes at the bottom because the roots, you don't want the roots to grow into the ground. I didn't know that was why I was doing it. You had a lemon tree that smelled like rotten eggs. That's gross. Why did it smell like rotten eggs? That's kind of gross. Kind of gross. So kind of gross. Let me do another poll. This could probably help someone because we're going to talk about it shortly. Oh, so Sylvia, you want your hose to go into the bottom. I don't. I don't want my hose to go into the ground. And for certain pots, they're not going to be able to go into the ground because I have cement. So yeah, I can't put mine. So for all the pots that I'm sitting up here, I can't. Let me see what else. Give me 1 second. And I don't like it when I misspell stuff, you guys. I'll tell you what I'm guilty of as soon as I start the poll. So everybody jump in, take the poll, let me know what is your biggest challenge when moving plants to bigger pots. My biggest challenge is overwatering. I need to get better at it, not great at it. Open, just not great at it. You found out the tree was in a container, Oh, it got waterlogged. Okay. Yeah, that could happen. Waterlogged. That's unfortunate. So what did you do? Were you able to save your lemon tree? Were you able to save your lemon tree? Okay. So we talked about watering it before. Add a layer. We talked about checking the roots. Settle the plant in at the same depth it was growing before. The only plant that I think is an exception to this is tomatoes. Bury them a little bit deeper. Man, that's a pretty bird. Sorry. Firm soil and then gently water it well in. For propagation cuttings, transitioning from water to soil, Pot mix about 50% perlite, 50% potting mix for a gentler transition. Water roots are more fragile. Was there adequate drainage in the pot? The guy who holds the world record for the largest tomato said not to bury them deeper. Why did he say that, Hash? Oh, no. She said she tried to bury the roots until the smell was gone and then replanted it and it RIP'd. Wow. Wow. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. So, I said this to you guys before. When you transplant stuff, expect it to droop. It's going to be fine. You want to know where I learned that from? With the hydroponics, I thought that they were going to be dead, and I called Four Seasons and she was like, "Let me see." Oh no, they're going to be just fine. The next day they were standing straight up. So I've learned to not worry about those plants when they start drooping. That is what it is. Although you bury them deeper, I still bury them deeper. I'm okay with burying them deeper, and it is what it is. I will actually take leaves off just to bury some of my tomato plants deeper. That's just what I do. Right. So tomatoes like warm soil. The further you bury, the cooler the soil is. Luckily, that isn't a big problem for containers. There you go. Luckily. I'm actually going to put a tomato in a container. I don't really grow my tomatoes in containers, but I'm going to try to put a determinate tomato in a container. Not even sure if the tomato is going to be big enough. I think I want to try a 5-gallon. We'll see what happens. And see what happens. I thought burying deeper roots, tomato plants produce more roots. I mean, it can. You bury your tomatoes horizontal up to 6 leaves. Thank you, Four Seasons. So I don't bury it deeper. Let me tell you what I did. Let me draw a picture on the back of this paper. I don't bury it horizontally. Here's what I do. I'm going to draw. Let's say, I don't know if you can I'm going to scribble a little bit here. Let's say this is the soil, right? I don't do it horizontally. I do it vertically, right? So I will bend, this shouldn't be an edge here. I will bend mine and bury it deeper, like this, into the soil. I don't go down deeper. I just bend it. I mean, to each his own. Everyone has their way of doing things, but that's how I do it. You do cherry tomatoes in a 30-gallon container and they will grow, let me tell you. So I don't want to do a cherry tomato. I think that's a indeterminate. I want to do a determinate. So something like aroma or something like that in a container, just so I can say that I grew a tomato in a lot of commercial growers are still doing it. Okay. Yeah, so you can still put your stem in the soil, but you can kind of curve it. What's up, Curtis? I've grown indeterminate tomatoes in the leaf size. Wow. Do you have put the picture in Discord, Unique? Listen, I don't really want my green stalks to be overtaken by one plant, and I feel like that's what'll happen if I try to grow an indeterminate. Did you put it on the bottom tier and then just stake it up as you go? I don't actually have any green stalks that are leaf planters. You want to grow upside down tomatoes and peppers this season? Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, and the stalks will be much huge and much stronger. I agree with that. I actually need to go out there and stake my tomatoes. I like staking my tomatoes when they're seedlings so that it's a lot easier to kind of like manage them coming up. What I mean is if the determinate does well in containers, then determinate would be fine. My tomatoes are always end up like 10 feet tall, doing way more tomatoes this year. Okay. Bottom tier trellises and staked it. There you go. Okay, that makes sense. But in a leaf though, leaf's pockets are so Growing an indeterminate tomato in green stalk is adventurous, very adventurous. So yeah, I have a tiny Tim. I have another dwarf tomato in my green stalk. No determinate. I was thinking about putting a determinate tomato in one of the bottom tiers. I think I'm going to do it. What I want to do is put a Rutgers tomato in there, but I want to look it up first. You plant your tomatoes in at an angle and you don't even prop them up. Tomatoes lead themselves to the light. That's true. Oh, I can see them in your videos where you fertilize your green stalks last fall. I'm going to check it out. No, she's not doing it. She just said it's adventurous. Okay. So after the transplant, expect some drooping for 1 to 3 days. It's totally normal. Keep it out of direct harsh sun. You're going to be great. Hold off fertilizing for 2 to 4 weeks. I don't always follow that rule. Not a rule follower over here. Fresh potting mix contains enough nutrients for fertilizing stressed out plants. And watch for wilting. If it doesn't recover overnight, it's a sign of significant root damage. So just watch for it. You plant dwarf tomatoes in your green stalk, not big ones, too difficult to work around. Okay. You have 2 tomatoes that you're not staking, just letting them sprawl. If I had the space, Sylvia, I would do that. I want to let tomatoes sprawl too. My grandmother sometimes lets her tomatoes sprawl a little bit. And they'll take roots in the ground too. So, yeah. So, a tip. Tap the sides of plastic nursery pots or squeeze them to loosen the root ball gently before pulling them out. You'll get the whole mass instead of tearing it. So always, I don't know if I have a container. I don't have a container around me, but gently squeeze it and do that stuff. Yeah, Deuces never follow rules. Four Seasons is not a rule breaker. She would never put an indeterminate tomato in a green stalk. And also, adding a small layer of perlite or gravel at the bottom of your pot does not improve drainage. Let me repeat that. Putting a small layer of perlite or gravel at the bottom of your pot does not improve drainage. It actually raises the water table inside the pot. So skip it for well draining. So I'll say that. You could debate me on it, but I'm going to say it doesn't. It just kind of like holds it in, okay? So it does not improve drainage. I said what I said. I meant what I said. It does not improve drainage. People were telling me to do that too. I did not. Okay. Okay. So let's look at this poll. Look at this poll. All right. So if you haven't taken the poll, take it really quick. I'm going to go in and end the poll. We're going to talk about hardening off, and then I'm going to take the plants that are in the window, and I'm going to have you guys walk me through taking seedlings from paper towel, putting them in, let me show you, these small seed trays, and then I'm going to put them out in the garden after I've hardened them off. I'm having a hard time keeping my seedlings safe from squirrels and stuff, so that's why I'm putting them in, and I'm putting them in very small trays because I don't want to keep them inside for long. Okay. So Sweet Time says, years ago I saw a big cherry tomato plant growing out of cracks of a parking garage. My guess is the seeds washed from the dumpster right by. Wow, that's crazy. Can I put away in all vegetable plants? I don't know what you mean. What is what? Okay. See you, galaxies. Peace out. Yeah, so Unique, I know why you were doing that. Unique is breaking all the rules. She had a townhouse and she didn't have a lot of space. But even without the townhouse and all the extra space that she has currently, she's still breaking rules. I don't care what you say, Unique. You're going to keep breaking rules. Will gravel, rock, stones in the bottom of a pot? They will not. They will not help with drainage. You're just putting them in there. In my opinion, is weighing down your pot. So do not put them in there. I might do another stream on that. Let me write that on my notes. So I could do it. I will discuss it in further detail and explain it, but no, it doesn't. So like maybe I'll do a live stream where we talk about things that people say that actually don't work. Okay? We're going to talk about that. Okay? Okay. So let me end this poll. Hey, unbiased, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Saturday. So 19 of you guys voted. Your biggest challenge is knowing the right timing. Mine's 37% of you say you feel great about it. 16% say you need to find the right plant size. And so, like I said, my problem is overwatering. This is a problem. I can't help it. I'm gonna water it today, tomorrow, yesterday, all of it. Yes, please do that video. Yes, because there are a lot of things out here. How you doing, Rose? There are a lot of things out here where people are doing like the gravel and stuff inside these containers, and it's not helpful. So what I started doing was before I actually do the things that people was like, oh, make sure you put rocks and stuff. I started doing research, watching videos, and not research to say for something to prove that it works. I started watching people that do it, and then their plants weren't doing very good. So yeah, I stopped doing it. Thank you for the gift, floating heart. Appreciate it. Thank you for the floating heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So hardening off. Let's talk about hardening off. We've talked about it before. You were on your way to Tractor Supply. Buy some things. I actually need to get some Pro Mix. Gwen, are you still in the chat? I might need you to bring some Pro Mix to work on Monday, and we will swap it from your car to my car. Need some Pro Mix. Y'all, my green stalks have shipped, the ones I got for Mother's Day, so I'm probably going to do a video of me planting out the Pro Mix. I know I said that I wasn't going to buy any plants from a nursery, but I decided that for one of the green stalks that I got for Mother's Day, that my husband bought for me, I'm going to have at first I was going to do all flowers until somebody said something to me yesterday, and now I decided I'm not going to do all flowers. I'm going to do majority flowers in one of them, and I need to purchase the flowers. So yes, I'm breaking my rule of what I wanted to do, and I have to buy flowers this season. Okay? So, hardening off. Indoor grown seedlings haven't experienced wind, direct sun, temperature swings, so going outside is an immediate shock. I know that for some people, sometimes even me, we put them out there and you're going to live or you're going to die. That's it. Some people don't harden off their seedlings. I try to harden them off some. So this season, I've been giving them indoor, outdoor about 3 days. You should do about a week. I haven't been doing it. Guilty. I'm not following that rule. Once you go outside for about 3 days, that's it. You can't come back in here. Okay? Your new green stalks got here yesterday. It was so hard to plant them. You're waiting for potting mix to get here. I ordered some Happy Frog, and I'm going to use Pro Mix. I'm going to mix the two together, and that's what I'm going to use in those green stalks. So I got 2 3-tier razzleberries. Yeah, Sylvia said, that's me too. You live or you die. That's right. Like sink or swim out here. And if you choose to die, don't worry. I got some more plants. You can be replaced. Live or die, that's your method because you're too busy doing all. Listen, you can't be going in and out. That's too much. And with me, I'm traveling a lot lately, have family issues. You know, my mom is sick. So I'm not here a lot. And I don't want to keep asking my husband to be like, can you put those plants outside for 2 hours? Can you make sure you go back and bring those plants back inside? I'm not doing that. So yeah, you go out. Once you go outside, that's it. And yes, plant extras, harden them off. The strong will survive. Thank you for that, Hash. 100% agree. I'm actually going to show you some stuff that I put outside. Some of it lived, some of it didn't, and I don't care. Okay? So here's your schedule. For those of you that want to do it the right way, do a schedule. First day, 1 to 2 hours outside. Second day, a little bit longer. Third day, a little bit longer. Start out in like a shaded area. By the third day, if you're doing it the longer way, put it in a more sunny area. Make sure it's getting some wind and everything. Also, right? Also, when you have your seedlings inside, put fans on them. Have you guys, I know you've seen it. I have fans. Put fans on them. Let me show you. This actually helps them so that when they go outside and the wind is doing so, this fan has been on these plants for a while. You notice that they're barely moving because they're so used to the fan at this point. The fan have been on these seedlings. They're healthy. They're ready to go outside for some nice sun. These are going outside today for a couple hours. I'm going to bring them inside. So by Tuesday, they're going to stay outside. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. You wish your sister would send you a fan? But why, brother? Because you have all your stuff inside. You don't need a fan. You have hydroponic gardens inside and you want to bring the pests in by plaguing. Okay, that's a good point. So, for those that watched The Fresh Princess, she ended up getting thrips because of something that was outside in her indoor. I'm not too much worried about that. So, yeah. And mines are right next to my hydroponics. So if they got some bugs in there, they just got bugs. I don't care as much about that as some people. It scared me. So, yeah. That's my art said, when you take your seedlings outside, that's their new home. You don't bring them back in at all. That's my art. Like, at all. So I am going to tell you, I'm going to be a bit, I'm going to do something exciting this year. And what I'm going to do is, in my green stalks, I saved one pod or one little pocket. And in some of them, I'm going to put watermelons at the bottom in one thing, and I'm gonna let it sprawl along on the sidewalk. I might put some like cloth or something on the sidewalk so that they don't burn, or maybe some cardboard under them once they start making fruit. But that is my plan. I'm gonna put them in the green stalk. It's a test, it's an experiment, but I'm gonna do it. Okay? And nobody can stop me. And I might even put a squash plant. I was thinking maybe the patty pan or something in there. So yeah. What's he got that trimmer for? Anyway. All right. Yes. Sprawling melons, Unique. Sprawling melons. I'm going to do it. And it's going to be great. Let's see if we could start this other goal. And before people leave, brother, are you by your phone? I want to do this before I run out of time. We hit one goal today. So far, we're going to do one giveaway. The giveaway, you're going to get this. This is from my grandmother's garden. So I'm going to text you, brother. We're going to do this before because we're almost done with the hardening off part. I'm going to bring out these seedlings. I'm going to do a sugar baby watermelon. So that's a smaller watermelon in one. And then another one that Broke Farmer sent me, and another, don't remember the name, don't think it's a dwarf variety. I'm just going to try it. Oh, you showed your zucchini and squash? Yeah, I'm going to try it, right? Why not? I have all the things. Why not try it, right? What's the worst that can happen? It's going to die. If it dies, I'll just put some more seeds out. No problem, okay? So, brother, if you can let me know if you got this number. 1 second. Because I want to do the giveaway now before I forget. I don't want to forget this time. Cece, you already have it. So I'm going to text you the number 2. Because you don't get to play. Cece, are you still here? Drop me a thumbs up. Who else here that I could send this to? Jacqueline, if you're here, let me know if you're still here. So let me see. I want the number to be, we're going to choose between 1 and 100. Do you have your email on your phone? I'll email you the number. We're going to go from 1 to 75. All right. Jacqueline, I'm going to email you the number. And we're going to do, I'll tell you when to start. I want to do the giveaway now before I forget. Good morning, BC. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, Jacqueline, I just sent it to you. I'll tell you when to start. Cece, I'm going to email you too if you're still here. Money well spent. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so give me 1 second. Thank you for being a member for 5. months hanging in there with me. I appreciate it. All right. So if you put a number in already, put it in again. Start now. Okay. I'm watching both devices. You can start now. Numbers between 1 and 75. Stop. Why does this always happen? Stop, stop, stop. Stop. So, and I mean, he got it right out of the gate. You hear me? Right out of the gate. Let me go back to confirm who got it. All right. J3GS. Brother, is that who you saw? Four Seasons, is that who you saw? Jegs, I'm going to send you, if you can, email me your address and you get the rosemary cuttings. If we hit another goal by the end of the stream, thank you. Jegs, send me an email. J3GS, the honey man, honey slinger, won some rosemary cuttings from my grandmother's garden. Send me an email with your address. We'll get it out to you. Let me just show you. I do have more cuttings, like I said, and I'll explain it again for those of you who are late to the party. I do the goals, number one, because I can. And number two, anything that I get on the goals assists with shipping because shipping is not cheap. All right. So here are some more clippings that I have. I think I showed it earlier. And I do have more if we hit another goal. So doesn't pay for the shipping, it just assists with the shipping. So, all right, the goal is up. We'll do a second giveaway if we hit another goal. All right, so let me just put this to the side because I know who's getting it now. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, congrats, J3. Congrats, congrats, congrats. That was quick. That was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. So before we start with these seedlings, is there anything else that anybody wants to cover? My grandma does have some great sipping. Yes, it does. It will make you change your mind. Like I just shipped out some stuff yesterday, and no lie, I think I spent like $30-something just to send something to 2 people. How about that? And the price of shipping when you're shopping will make you change your mind on just buying things. When you see the price of what you're purchasing plus the price of shipping, it'll make you just abandon the whole cart and buy. You're correct. So I'll be cooking with this a little bit later because I also have some rosemary for me. All right. So anybody have any questions or anything that they want to know that I could cover in a different live stream to talk about seedlings and putting them out and getting them in the right pots and the dampening off and the transplanting and the cuttings? We talked about a lot of stuff today, right? And it still left me time to talk about or to show you guys or do with you guys these plants. So let me just remove them from the windows. So check out, let me see if you can see it. So these are the flowers. So I could tell by this one, these haven't really rooted yet. I'm going to leave it and maybe spray some extra water in there. But the canary and then the pink senorita, see if I can get this off with the tape. I don't want to leave tape on the window. I'm going to have to come back and do it. So these two, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at that. Thank you, that's my art. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just because you did that, we might still do another one. Appreciate it. Let me give you the thumbs up there. Floating heart, thank you, unbiased. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna switch the way this looks. Switch you around a little bit. We're gonna take, this is gonna be my little workstation. So I don't know if y'all know, but Miss Gail from Georgia Peachnut sent me, thank you for all of the tulips and the things, but Miss Gail sent me this little mat. Oh, that's cute. Who sent that? Love Lohim. I like the little tulips. That's pretty neat. All right, so we have this here. I'm trying to get all my little tools, and I decided I'm going to use tweezers today. So we got the tweezers here. I'm going to try to pay attention to the chat as much as I can. You guys are hooking it up today. I appreciate it. So what do I need? I'm looking for, 1 second. All right. So Oh, you love it? So I'm going to use this just because I need something to put the soil in. So there's two mats. I don't even know if I'm using them right, but there's this mat, which is like the bigger mat. And then there's the table here. Um, Maybe do a show on hydroponic starts. You're noticing an impressive trend. With 3D printers, I think hydroponic growing is going to explode. Correct, correct. So I've done live streams with that before. I'll probably do another one closer to when I start my fall seedlings. But Mr. Sweet Time, I will definitely do that. So, okay, tweezers. I don't think I need these, so I can put these up. But I know I need my little dibbler. And I know I need labels. If I can find the dibbler. Okay. All right. So we're prepared. Yeah, I love those little. Yeah, they do have snaps. What are the snaps for? Tell me. Snap it to the side to keep the water. Oh. Huh. Thank you. Because I had no idea what these snaps were for. Snaps. Look at that. I learned something today. Thank you guys. Okay. And y'all know that don't forget my gloves. I have the gloves right here on the table. All right. So got my snaps. Let me move my coffee. Yeah, lives are for me to learn too. And I'm learning a lot from everybody in the garden community. All right, so it's all snapped up and everything. I got my tray here, got my little, I'm putting them in these trays here because like I said, they're not gonna be, you did not know the mat existed. I've been seeing people use this mat in their streams. Look at that. Thank you, LB. Love it, love it, love it. So he calls me LS because I'm his line sister. I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And because he did that, y'all know what we're going to do? Another giveaway, because I said if we hit another giveaway, hit another goal, I'll do another giveaway. So there we go. Let me get my little hype up. And there we go. All right, thank you, LB. So I'm gonna put it this way because my trays aren't quite fitting. So you see here, we're gonna do another giveaway in a bit toward the end because I want to get this done first. And like I said, I did buy Miracle Grow because it was inexpensive, and I'm gonna look at it to see if I need to sift through it. I need scissors for the bag. And I'm gonna just cut the bag open to see what it looks like. You love the hype? Yeah, I love the hype too. How's my brother's tomato cutting doing? I don't know, brother. How's your tomato cutting doing? So I'm doing Miracle Grow potting soil. Actually, doesn't look like there's a lot of sticks in there at all. You have those mats, you use them for winter while transplanting from hydroponics. There you go. So roll my sleeves up a little bit here. Roll my sleeves up a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't look like, let me just do it this way. Oh, there is a little bit. So here's what I'm gonna do. Unpopular thing to do. And I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna start over a little bit. I'm gonna use this little green thing little green mat to the best of my ability. And do I have another tray? I do. 1 second. All right. And hopefully this doesn't take too long because I don't want to hold you guys hostage today, but I want to get as many of these sticks out this might take too long. This sifter is great, and I'm just gonna peel out some of the bigger sticks. There's not a lot of big sticks in here like I thought it was gonna be. I just want to pick, oh, I could just pick them out with my hands, so I don't need the sifter this morning. I could pick out the big sticks with my hands, but I want to moisten this first. So get as much of this soil. I'll pick out the sticks here. You have those mats, you use them. Okay, I read that already for your house plants. What I can also do is when the live is over, I'll try to tag the product in the video description. That way, something for those of you that are aspiring to make partner or that you don't realize, when you guys use those links that are tagged to the videos, I get a commission from them. So I will try to find a cost-effective, oh, you like the sifter? I'll tag that as well. So for those of you that are looking forward to partnership, maybe one day, if you purchase, I'm not telling you to purchase the products from, actually I want to put water in it first. I'm not telling you to purchase it from there, but I'm telling you if you do, I do get a commission, and then I'll thank you for it. All right, so I'm just wetting these. It don't have to be wet like hydroponics. I just want to wet it enough so that it has some moisture in it, so that they could stay in place. But yeah, I love the sifter as well. Worked out very good when I was putting soil inside of my green stalks. And I'm actually pretty impressed that this soil doesn't have a lot of sticks in it. Very, very impressed. And Four Seasons, just so you would know, the sifter I got from another YouTube supporter. She must have been watching something in a video and thought I needed it. Sent me a message on one of my videos to check the P.O. box. And when I did, there was a gift. So I was very, very happy about that. Very happy. So I'm just going to put the soil in here. And because I know that these flowers aren't going to be inside for too long, should be a pretty easy process. This is actually Miracle Grow. I don't normally buy Miracle Grow, but today, because I know they're not going to be in the soil for long, I just went with the most. And you would be surprised. This was at a big box store, this was the least expensive soil they had. What does this gift system do? What do you mean? The gifts that people give on here? It just sends me funds. That's what happens when you're a monetized creator. Tell you what though, I never saw those tulips before that person sent. So that was very pretty. So for that, it made me smile. That's what it did for that. So there we go. All right, I'm getting a few of them. I don't know how many of these things have roots because I double layered the paper towel, but I'm going to show you guys the roots. I'm going to do one more tray because I'm not sure how many roots. Actually, 2 and 2, just in case there's enough. And I'm only going to put one in. Oh, look, there it is. The tulips. Yeah. On sale at Lowe's. Thank you. Those are pretty. So, yeah, that made me smile. Thank you. Because when we started the stream this morning, I think I told you guys I wasn't feeling well. Been having a rough couple, I'm going to say a couple weeks, rough couple weeks. But yeah, that was pretty nice. Yeah, the sifter is very nice. Yeah, Miracle Grow is on sale. And I think a lot of these big box stores are putting stuff on sale because people like us are starting to not buy that stuff. So that could be the reason, could not be the reason, not sure. Don't know what their mindset is. And I'm not telling anybody to not go to the store and buy what you want. I'm just telling you that normally I don't do it. So I want to see what these roots look like. So I'm trying to work a little bit faster. Get this stuff in here. I've used black cow potting soil before. What's that name? The black earth potting soil I've used before. Um, I've used a variety of different kinds. So I'm not going to say that I'm that picky. I mean, I am, but not really. And the one potting soil that I think works the best, of course, surprise, surprise, is Happy Frog, which I have never done seed starts in Happy Frog. So I might, when I do my cucumbers, do some seed starts in Happy Frog. All right, I think that's enough. So I'm going to move this out of my way and bring back these trays. Okay. All right. So do I ever think I'll get into making my own soil? When I have more time, I absolutely will. When I have more time. But time is not on my side lately, Hash. I wish I could buy some more time. You bought some of their potting soil when it was on sale. You might prefer Happy Frog, but a sale is a sale. Exactly. Yeah, Happy Frog was it was designed for seed starting. All right. So I think the ones that have the better roots, I'm going to show you guys after I get it out of this paper towel, are the canary bird. Let me see if I could show you guys what it looks like, because I have it right here. Canary bird zinnias. Okay. So these are the canary birds that I'm going to plant. They're yellow, of course, canary bird. So these are the canary birds, and then the other ones are pink senorita, which I think are these. So these are the two that I'm going to be putting into the soil today, providing I don't kill them by messing with the roots. Okay, so for this, I think I need tweezers. I have the little dibbler here, and I'm going to have you guys help me out because I think I told you that normally I just put them straight outside, not in soil mixture. So, oh yeah, look at that. I'm going to put it on a table, and I might not have did enough seed starting tray. So I'm going to put this down here, over here. Let me move these out of the way so that you guys can kind of see. What am I doing? I'm taking seeds that I sprouted in a paper towel, and I am putting them in seed trays so that they can get bigger before I put them outside, because my squirrel pressure has been, squirrel and groundhog and birds digging up stuff has been so crazy. Actually, I can't see them down there. Has been so crazy that I want to put them in seed trays first. So I'm going to put them here halfway. All right. Let me bring the camera over so you can kind of see the seeds. So can you guys see these? They look pretty good, right? So I'm just going to poke little holes and try to get the root down as much as I can. Leave the leaves up top or slightly buried. They can come up some more later. But I also have to use these tweezers. So, full transparency. I've never done this before. Not this way anyway. So if I'm doing something, I can see the chat. Please, if I'm doing something wrong, please let me know as I'm doing it. So see that? Looks pretty good. Gonna put that down in there. See if I could slide you over so you can kind of see. There we go. So I'm not gonna cover them yet. I want to get one in each. This has little roots. Why paper towel? Because I wasn't gonna be here, Hash, and I needed them to come up so that when I came back, I could put them out. If I had done this while I was gone, they would have died because there was no one to watch the trays, take the domes off, and do all those things. So that's why I'm doing them in the paper towel. And they came up pretty fast. So it was I want to say a life choice. I did what was best for me at the time. So I'm going to put these down in here. And when they get a little bit bigger, I will essentially put them out in the garden. This is actually going a little bit quicker than I thought it would, which is great. And they look good, I think. I mean, I'm not really sure what they're supposed to look like. I've seen like TFP do this, and I was like, you got to be really patient to do that. So is this one going to survive? I don't know. I'm going to try to pick ones that I see like the little white roots at the bottom for the most part. So like this, these are the ones I'm going to pick, and I'm trying to be super duper gentle with them, putting them down in the holes. I'm going to use the little dibbler again. You're going to try it with your leafy greens. So it's funny you say that. As a kid, I did play the game Operation quite a bit. At one point in time, at one point in my childhood, I did think I was going to be a doctor. So I used to play the game a lot. So just trying to go through and find the ones that have the better roots on them. So like this one, for example. And I'm going to bury the little seed pod down there as well. You like using the paper towel method, Sylvia? Me too. I want to kind of grab this off, and then I'm going to try to push it down. This one is not being nice to me. There we go. Then I'm going to use this, kind of push it down. And it's okay if I bury part of the leaves. Remember I said that the cotyledons are just the first couple leaves here. And I'm looking for more of these that have roots. Like this one has a pretty decent root. Just put it right down into the soil. And I'm going to come back in and cover these. I'm looking for ones with right white roots. It's kind of hurting my eyes a little. Here goes one. Oh, wait. I didn't even pick it up. This is very, very small. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to put the whole leaf and everything down in the soil and hope that it comes up. Now, this looks like it has some dampening off. There are no roots there. I'm going to put this one on the side, not going to use it. This is first starting to get the little roots here. Notice that for this one, I'm grabbing it by the leaves and not the stem because I don't want to crush the stem. This one has, a little white at the bottom. All right, and then I'm going to come back and cover. All right, this one is starting to come out. I'm just going to put the whole thing down there because it's not completely out of the shell, but I do see the white roots. All right, so I feel like I took the healthiest ones for the canaries. Put it over there. Let me look at this chat really quick. Do I keep the paper towel? You never had good luck with the paper towel method, but you have no idea. So I made sure that I kept it very moist. And right now all I'm doing is going in and kind of like gently packing down over the roots. And I'll show you guys in a minute. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put these under the domes, kind of, sort of. Hey Gina, how are you? So next, and I need to go ahead and put in and we'll have an update on this next week to see if I did it right? If I did it right, and how they're doing next week when I go live. All right. So I just need to, where are my labels? 1 second. All right. I'm going to have to repurpose some labels, and that is okay. canary bird zinnias. Habitual, I'm trying 3 different kale seeds today. Okay, she talking to habitual. Okay. I'm gonna put a PT on here so I know I did it paper towel. And I put these in a paper towel on May the 6th. So not too long ago. Less, like, maybe a little over a week ago. Also, I used to do, has anybody grown boysenberry? I don't even know what that is. Okay. All right. So I got these 2 done. All right. Might as well write the next one is the pink senorita. All right. Put those down. All right. See, anybody else say anything to me? Let me just check. Looks like you guys are talking to each other, and that is great. All right, good. All right. So the pink senorita, I could tell by the bag, don't have as many, and that's fine. But their roots kind of look a little bit different. One of them may have rotted, but let's take a peek. Oh, I'm lying. They all did pretty good. Check it out. I'll put these here so that you guys can see it. Oh, I dropped one. Don't want to do that. And then there's some on this part of the paper towel as well. All right, let me bend you back down. There we go. So I'm just going to take move these over. Got these tweezers and I got my little dibbler here. I'm just taking them off the paper towels and putting them in these seed trays. Again, if you're just coming in, the reason why I'm not putting them directly outside is because my pest pressure lately has been crazy. This is a chunk. I don't want this chunk in here. What is this? Can I break it up? No. This is a chunk too? Okay. All right. There we go. So, yeah, I have pest pressure lately, and they won't let me be great. The squirrels, the groundhogs, the birds, they're digging up stuff, and I don't enjoy that. So I'm trying to do the best that I can by having stuff inside, let it get to a decent size, and then put it outside after they've gotten a little bit bigger and stronger. Because if I put them outside now, that's somebody's lunch. You know, both glasses on to type. All right. Here we go. Here we go again. Pick them up by their leaves. This one has a little root. Put it down there. The little root here. Let me see. That's just a shell. Check it out. And I'm just hoping and praying that these things are okay. I'm actually going to bury this one down a little bit deeper because it still has the seed shell on it. Looks like it's starting to get roots. A lot of these still have seed shells on them. This root was going through the paper towel. I was able to squeeze it out. Push it on down. What else do I have here? Here's one. This root is pretty long. I'll come back to the chat in a second. Need the little dibbler. Push this down in here. Give it a little bit of assistance. There we go. The roots on these are like stuck in the paper towels. Get that down in there. Oh, I broke this one. I'm gonna put it on the side. All right. I think I have some on the edge over here. Here we go. Almost done. So I did pretty good timing today. Proud of myself. We did a giveaway. Here we go. This one has some good roots. Hey Peach, how are you? We're just ending up a little bit here today. I'm going to put this down in there. All right. So again, I will show you. Do I still have the zinnias up here? Actually, I'm going to double seed this one to one that wasn't so great. Put it right here. I'll show you again the two different zinnias that we're doing here. All right. So it's the pink senorita. And then the canary bird. So these are the two that we're going to do. Angela Calloway, hello. Oh, Angela Calloway, because you asked, can you please send me your mailing address? I got something for you. All right. Got these in, these in. So I'm just going to pack them down. All right. We have one more giveaway to do. We're a little bit over time. We're going to end it with the giveaway. Brother, Four Seasons, are you still here? Four Seasons, I'm going to email you. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. So, everybody, from 1 to 75, I'm not going to type start. You could just start now. And then while I'm covering, I'll be looking to see who hits the number. Brother, you got the number? Okay. Don't see it yet. Close, but don't see it yet. Stop. All right. Stop, stop, stop. The winner, Four Seasons, you can confirm, is Tamiko D with 45. Can you confirm that that's what you see? Correct. All right. Tamiko, you know the drill. You've won here before. Send me your mailing address, and I will try to get these rosemary cuttings out to you ASAP. I'm just going to go in here, cover in these zinnias, put the labels in, and there we go. All right, so we went a little bit over today, everybody. We talked about seedlings. You guys saw me briefly at the end take seeds from paper towel to the seeds here. We talked about why I'm doing it, the pest control. I addressed the elephant in the room about the goals and everything like that. So everybody, You can actually give your rosemary to someone else if you don't want it. This rosemary isn't my rosemary. It's rosemary from my grandmother's rosemary plant. So that is why everybody wanted it. Angela Calloway, if you're still in the room, don't forget to email me. So yeah, everybody, thank you for hanging out. I had a lot of fun chatting with you guys. I'll be back first thing tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we're going to be talking about what happens when you plant too many plants, okay? So, like I was saying, make sure you go out and plant some seeds, get together with this weather, take care of your seedlings, and happy planting, everybody. Peace out, everybody.